We are on the bottom of Pei Beis Amid Aleph, 2 lines before the bottom of Pei Beis Amid Aleph. And Rebbe has already established that the analogy that the Torah presents between Nara Murasa in the case of a rape of a married woman and Rotzeach in the case of murder means that we're going to learn something from Nara Murasa to Rotzeach, even though, again, the straightforward pshat in the Gemara is, in the Torah, is that we're going to compare a rape situation to Rotzeach, and she's a victim like the case of a victim of murder, but it goes the other way around, says Rebbe, as well, meaning that now Nara Murasa is going to teach me something about Rotzeach. What does that teach me? Ma Nara Murasa nitan latzila bin nafsho. In the case of someone who's running after a married woman to try to rape her, he's called a rodef, and you are obligated lahatzil bin a rodef, even if it means that the only way you can do so is by killing the rodef, who's running after Nara Murasa. That's what you'll do. You'll kill him. And this din is derived in the Gemara Masechet Sanhedrin from the pasuk that says, no one was there to save her, implying that if someone was there to save her, he will save her at all costs, even if it means killing the rodef. Is af Rotzeach, the same din applies to Rotzeach, that if someone is running after someone else, threatening to kill him, you will kill him if necessary, shoot for the legs, but if you can't, then you'll kill him. And now we go the other way around. And now Rotzeach is going to teach me something about Nara Murasa. It's a two-way street. Ma Rotzeach. Yehorig vel yavar. You're not allowed to violate the Isur Tzich and murder someone, even if it means that your life is going to be lost, is af Nara Murasa. If a person says to you, I want you to have a relationship with this married woman, she's a Murasa to someone else, is Yehorig vel yavar. You have to be willing to give up your life. And here we turn to Daf Pei Beis Amid Beis. Rotzeach gufa minolan. How do you know that in a case where you have a choice of either killing someone or being killed, that you have to be killed? Svara. We don't have a pasuk for this. We're going to derive it from Svara. Now, in order to explain the Svara, we're going to tell the story of the psak of Rava. Ahudi asalakami de Rava. He came in front of Rava to ask him the question of Amar Le, and he said to Rava, Amar li Mara Durai. Mara Durai is the shalit. He is the nachri, the guy who's in charge of the entire city, and he has at his wherewithal all the necessary tools to put someone to death. So he says to me, Kata leplanya, if you don't kill so and so by Sunday, we'll give you 2 days, then Elo Katlina Lecha, I will kill you. So what do I do, Rav? He asks Rav. Should I kill that person and save my own life? Because the Torah says V'chai bohem. Or do I say, no, I'm not allowed to kill him? Amalei niktalach, you have to let yourself be killed. Not an easy psak to tell a person. V'lo tiktal. And you should not kill anyone. Why? Rashi explains. Because the Torah says v'chai bohem, and the Torah says that if we put on a scale a mitzvah of the Torah, losa said the Torah, and on the other side of the scale, human life, the Torah says v'chai bohem. Human life is chaviva b'yeni Hashem. It's more important to God than the bittul of a mitzvah, the violation of a mitzvah. So it means that the heter, the permission to violate the mitzvahs is for the sake of saving lives or saving a life. So the v'chai bohem overrides the mitzvah. But in this case, someone's going to die. There's your v'chai bohem and then there's his chai bohem. He also has rights to live. So what are you going to do? You're going to violate Ritzicha for the sake of saving your life, but you're going to forfeit his life. But maybe you'll tell me, well, my life is more important than his. My chaz is the dobak lidach, sumak tvei, duma dahu gavra. You have no way of determining what is more important in the eyes of God. Your life is more chaviv or his life is more chaviv. And therefore there's no heter of a chai bohem in this case. Now, theoretically, what Rav is teaching us here is that you have to be passive. And therefore the Balei Tosfos, in this long Tosfos, come to the conclusion that if the man, the Shalit Ha'ir, puts a gun to your head, for example, and he says, allow yourself to be thrown on a baby from a high point and you'll crush the baby, you'll survive and the baby will die, but we're going to use you as a human cannonball, then that would be mutter. You don't have to kill yourself. You just have to be passive. There are two nefashos here, two v'chaybahems, and don't take the law into your hands, just leave it go. Now the Gemara goes back to the case of Ubra Sheiricha, the case of a pregnant woman who smelled. Now we're talking about Yom Kippur. Hahi Ubra the Archa. There was a pregnant woman. We'll see who this woman is in a minute. She was a pretty important woman. Anyway, she had a taiva to eat on Yom Kippur, and there was a fear of sakana, of danger to her life. Also, Lakami the Rebbe. And the question was brought to Rebbe Yudah Nasi, can we violate and feed her? Amalahu. So Rebbe says, Zilu l'chushule di Yoma de Kippuri. Whisper into her ear that today is Yom Kippur. And when you whisper into the ear of a pregnant woman, then it could somehow, the echoes of your words could be heard, so to speak, in quotation marks, by the ubar, she's only desiring of food because of the ubar. L'chushule, that's exactly what they did, as Rebbe recommended. The ilchisha. And from that time on, she didn't have to eat. In other words, the uber was no longer demanding that she should eat, no longer having that impact on her that she should eat, because now the uber realized it's Yom Kippur. Kari alei, Rebbe quoted a pasuk in Yirmiyah, "B'terem et sarcha b'beten yidaticha, u'b'terem teitze mirechem hikdashticha." That sometimes, even when the fetus is not born yet in its mother's womb, it's already yidaticha, it's already kadosh with the idea of Hashem. Nafak mina, and who was born from this pregnant woman? Rabbi Yochanan. This was Rabbi Yochanan's mother. Now we have an opposite story. Hahi ubra di archa, again a story of a pregnant woman who said, I have a taiva, I got to eat, and it's Yom Kippur, I have to eat. Also, her life is in danger. Also, Rabbi Chanina. So Rabbi Chanina learned from Rebbe, Amalu l'chuchalu, go whisper to her that in her ear that today is Yom Kippur. V'lo ilchisha. And she continued to demand, I must eat. Rabbi Chanina quoted a pasuk in Tehillim Perik Nun Ches, and here we turn to Pei Gimel. Zoru Rishoim Meirechem. The Rishoim already called Zorim. They already are alien to Torah, to Hashem. Berechem Imam, even in the state of embryo. Nafak Minei, who was born from this woman? Shabsai Otzer Pereh. Shabsai, who stored the fruits. What he did was, when the fruits were on the market, he got there first, and he bought up all the market, locked up the fruits in refrigeration, so that he could do what? Jack up the price. Price control. And you're not allowed to do such a thing. And this is based on the Gemara in Baba Basra, on Daf Tzadiyom and Beis, that you're not allowed to collect payros, which are necessary to keep people going. It's ochel nefesh. This is food for the masses. In order to break the price, the normal price accepted, and charge an exorbitant price. And the Gemara there quotes a pasuk that indicates that such a person, price gouging, He's guilty of a crime and he's a rosh. And this is where we're going to stop for today. Cholem achilin also b'yom kippurim al pi b'kiyim, and we'll talk about b'kiyim and rofim. And Amir Hashem, we will try to record that shir and post it online. So I'll take this opportunity to thank you and wish you a Shabbat Shalom.